War, typically imagined as a gruesome scene with blood, guns, and dead soldiers littered across a battlefield, something every country tries to avoid. We are involved in a war right now, but not like the one previously described. We are involved in a new type of war, a trade war. This trade war is between the United States and China, our largest trading partner since it surpassed Canada in 2015. Tensions between the United States and China have been increasing since 2017. Once an investigation was concluded about some of China's controversial trade practices, the Trump administration took action. President Trump and his administration wanted to penalize China for practices such as forcing foreign companies to hand over technology to Chinese companies in order to trade with the economic powerhouse. These penalties came in the form of tariffs. A tariff is a tax on imports or exports. Money collected through a tariff is called a duty or customs duty. Tariffs are used by governments to generate revenue or to protect domestic industries from competition. On July 6, 2018, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection began adding a 25% tariff to imported Chinese products, which equates to roughly 34 billion US dollars. On this list of tariffed items were things such as parts for refrigerators, motorcycles, machinery, plastics, and other metals. The goal of these tariffs is to make it more expensive for American consumers to buy goods from Chinese businesses, and in turn have more consumers purchase goods from other countries, hurting the Chinese economy. However, China wasn't going to let the U.S. control the situation, so China returned the favor. China started placing tariffs on U.S. goods such as some machinery, furniture, alcohol, chemicals, and certain types of food. The back and forth between the two governments has led to the frustration of people and industries on both sides. Jack Ma, the founder of China's biggest internet company, Alibaba, said at a November conference in Shanghai,
"War is the most stupid thing in this world. Now, trade is to for the peace. Trade is to communicate."
His anger stems from the trade war supposedly derailing his plans to create 1 million new U.S. jobs. Americans and the Chinese are not the only ones being affected by the trade war. Maersk, the world's largest operator of container ships with headquarters located in Copenhagen, Denmark, warns both the United States and China about the effects the trade war will have on the global economy. The growth rate of global container trade fell from 5.8% to 4.2%. The tariffs have caused a 1.6% decrease in growth rate over the course of a year, and Maersk is worried about the future of container trade. More tariffs could significantly reduce container trade and hurt trade for all nations, not just the United States and China. Despite these warnings from different global companies, China is in it for the long haul and Trump is up for the fight. Both economies had been taking hits due to stubbornness. On Tuesday, October 23, 2018, two Chinese stock market indexes, the Shanghai Composite Index and the Hang Seng, were both down about 3%. That same Tuesday, in the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow Jones National Average plummeted more than 540 points. The Nasdaq Stock Exchange, the second biggest behind the New York Stock Exchange, was recorded as having its worst month since a mid-recession November 2008 at one point on Tuesday. However, with these economic downturns, there have been signs of future economic endeavors with growing countries such as India. In a speech that outlined the Trump administration's policy towards China, Vice President Pence said,
"And to advance our vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific, we're building new and stronger bonds with nations that share our values across the region. From India to Samoa, our relationships will flow from a spirit of respect, built on partnership, not domination."
India has potential to fill China's shoes as our top economic partner due to its growing economy and increasing relations with other global economies. But India still has its issues, such as needing to change and update their labor and administrative reforms. While India is nearing the brink of a strong economic relationship with the U.S., China and the U.S. are making amends. At the Group of 20 summit in Buenos Aires, Argentina, on December 1, 2018, President Trump and President Xi Jinping sat down to talk about the ongoing tariffs and possible resolutions. At the summit, President Trump agreed to cancel a planned January 1st tariff increase in return for increased Chinese purchases of American farm and industrial goods. As economic tensions between the two nations cool down, the future of the trade war is still unclear. President Jinping told leaders gathered in Papua New Guinea's capital, Port Moresby,
Mankind has once again reached a crossroads. Which direction should we choose? The interests of all countries and indeed the future of mankind hinge on the choice we make.